So, how to use Myfitnesspal. So, this is going to be one of the most important tools. And to remember, you will not be on this method forever, but it is a great tool to start learning how much the value of food is, to make sure that we're accurate, to make sure we can hit our calories and our macros, which we'll learn about along this journey, and for us to sort of keep a good control and for you to get to your results the quickest way possible. So this is just going to be a quick guide on how to get the best out of the app. So this is what tracking nutrition is. It's important to take the element out of just winging it out of the equation. Okay, so this is where MyFitnessPal comes into play. So this all the significance of weighing your food and controlling your portions will really help control your calorie intake. And over the long term, this will really help control like the amount of weight that you lose or that you want to gain, depending on your goal. So getting started. So once we've downloaded the app, obviously just go to the App Store, whether you're Android or iPhone, type in MyFitnessPal. It's usually like a blue logo. You're going to follow it there. It's going to ask you to sort of set up the first time you open the app if you've never had it before. Just go through the process saying what you want to do. Make sure you've got well, that's not even important. Make sure you sort of roughly know your body weight. You could put that in there. It will then calculate automatic calories for you, but do not follow these. These are generally wrong. It's usually really low, and in the long term, it doesn't help. We've actually never had a client have the same starting calories that we set them at compared to like what MyFitnessPal sets them at. We don't even know what formula they're using, but it's just not worth it. So we just want you to get through that process. And then once it's done, you can ignore that number. Once we are into the app, right, move my head out of the way. This is what your home screen will look like. So from here, what you're going to do for the first week for your food diary is you're literally just going to track your food. So we could see by the end of the week how much are you actually eating, because we don't want to take big jumps and random, what do we call it, like random calculations. We want to start working from what you've actually recently been eating, and this is what we do with our one-to-one clients. So this is super important. So once that week is over, you can come back to this and review this process, because this is how you start to set your own goals, your own calories, your own carbohydrates, proteins, and fat goals through this option. So I'll quickly go over it now. What you'll do is you'll click down bottom right hand corner. Hopefully you can see my mouse. Is it working? Yeah, we're working. Cool. So you're going to click at the bottom right. It will take you to this menu here. You're going to go to the middle bit and you'll click calories, proteins, and carbs. And once we're in there, this is where we can do it. So whatever your goal is, you'll be able to put your calories in here and set it here. It will ask you to go to premium if you want to get your goals absolutely bang on, but we don't want you to be paying extra money for nothing. It's not really that much of a benefit. So you do not need to get MyFitnessPal Premium. It's just an add-on, obviously, for them. So when you do have your goals, even if you're maybe 5 or 10 grams out from your recommended macro target, don't worry. Just try and get as close as you can within here, and that is usually enough for most people. We're not competitors. We do not need to be like absolutely bang on. And as you can see, it will help you set it by percentage, but it's only usually by like 5%. So that's why you can't get bang on, but we will be happy with it as you just get as close as you can. So that's how you set up your own calories once you've got your calorie and macro target. So the important part is how can you use MyFitnessPal? So we're taking this from a perspective that you've never used it, never touched it. But if you have, that is great. So there's 2 ways you can enter your food in MyFitnessPal. So creating your own food diary. So what matters is what you put in your mouth. So ensure the food you track is reflective of this. So food diary entries can be done in 2 ways. God, I've got like a frog in my throat. So there's 2 ways. You can use the barcode scanner. Is the next one got it on there? Yeah. cool, we'll get to that. So you can use a barcode scanner and you can search for items. So what you do is the initial steps, you add an item. So you can either click add food, depending what meal it is. So you would click on diary first. You've come to this menu. You can either, obviously whatever menu meal it is, breakfast, you just click food, or from like the home menu, just click the plus sign. It'll come up with this, and obviously then you click food. Let's move my head, get rid of that. Okay, we're back. So you need to select obviously the appropriate meal. So whether it's your breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snacks, just chuck it into one of them. Then it's going to bring you to this menu. So this is where you've got the barcode scanner on the right, and then you've got the search function, obviously in like the search bar there. So that's what it'll look like if you click the barcode. See, we suggest this for most of it. Obviously, you've got the packet of the food. You click the barcode scanner, and you go into that and you just scan the barcode. Then comes the next bit of the serving sizes. So we'll go into that in a minute. So one way is you do the barcode scanner. It is the quickest and most easiest way. But depending on what food it is, sometimes it's not there. So then you have to come in and use a second way, which is to search it manually, which is through the search thing. So here it's got an example of a banana. You just put a banana in there, click on it, and then you just pick one. Usually if you click one of the ticks, they've been verified. So just remember, Myfitnesspal, absolutely anyone can upload a food and then put their own calories or macros in, and they can just make it up. So make sure the one that you've got is close or obviously the same as it is on the packet. If you haven't got a packet, just think what you think is right, and usually what has a green tick is the best way to go. So a search function. So once you've scanned and selected the appropriate food, you'll see a nutritional breakdown of your selection. So that's here. Calorie and macro values will be displayed. And this is where it comes down to the serving size. So what you need to remember is if you come here, just work out, like, have you got half a packet? Have you weighed it? Have you got 100 grams? So different foods come out with different versions, but we usually, if it's like pasta or rice, click on the serving size. You can either have like 100 grams or a 1 gram. Just always flip it to 1 gram, and then you choose the number of servings. If you have 100 grams, it's 100. If you have 200 grams, it's 200. Or obviously, if you've got 100 grams per serving, you just put 2. If you had 200 grams of rice, so it's just remembering to get the serving sizes accurate. And you come down here. Once you've done that and you've clicked enter at the top, it will now be logged into your breakfast. So just a disclaimer, like I said before, not all data matches are 100% correct. So just try and get as close to it as you can. So once you've sort of done that for like all different meals of the day, there's different ways to review what are your calories and what are your macros looking like. So these are like the 3 screens you'll see. So the left one just tells you how many calories you're having per meal. Again, you wouldn't really want 1,000 calories for breakfast and then 200 for snacks, because you're probably going to be pretty hungry across the whole day. So if you can get even-ish, like you might have more for dinner, say 600 for dinner, 300-400 for other meals, like that's quite fine, but we do want to spread it across the day generally. This will show you your macros, so straight away you've got your goals and then how far away are you, and this is just a quick way for us to see where you are. So what can we see? Where's the home screen? Cool. So if you click up here, this is where it takes you to see it. So if I go back there, so you've got nutrients, and you can just sort of see your protein, carbs, fiber, and that's all you really know about. You don't need to go too far, because again, it just gets too much. We don't need to know that much. This puts it in a lovely pie chart. You could just see your macros, what you're on, carbs, fats, and proteins. So the ones we use the most is probably this one or that one, just to check your fiber. So tips and tricks, just to remember as we're going over it. So tip 1, ensure the data you're inputting is accurate. Compare it to the packaging. As we said before, it is just not always, even if you scan it, sometimes it can bring up a different food. It's rare, but it does happen. We've had people like scan something and then they had like 4,000 grams of carbohydrate, and we know that's not true. Tip number 2, pre-track your food before you eat it. This is the biggest thing. Myfitnesspal and all calorie tracking work best when you plan ahead and you put your meals and the foods you're going to eat. Then you look at the overall thing, and then you can like, right, I'm too far away from my protein, or I'm well under my calories, I'm well over, I need to add or take away. So you use it as a pre-plan, and you're basically building your own meal plan with the foods that you like, with our recommended calories and macros recommended for your goal. So this is super important. Do not overlook it. It's the most boringest thing, but if you can pre-track, that is the clients that get the best results. Tip number 3, foods that you track are automatically stored within your own database, so you won't have to scan everything every single time. So say you always in your breakfast and you always have oats and like milk. If you type in just milk, it will come up straight away. Or if you even click on breakfast, it will have most frequent or most recent foods used. So you can just click on that, add it. So obviously once you've probably done 1 to 2 weeks, you will then get a lot quicker at the app because you're just copying and pasting things, because most of the time we will eat similar foods. And once they've tracked once, you can go find it quite quickly. Tip number 4, weigh all foods raw for the most consistency. This is including obviously all meats. This is including pasta or rice. As an example, you can weigh out your rice, and then once you cook it and boiled it, you know, it's going to absorb the water, so it's going to weigh a lot more. So always try to weigh everything raw as just all consistency. Tip number 5, you do not have to be perfect, okay? This is where I can send people a bit mental. Remember, you're not a bikini competitor. You do not need to be like to the ground bang on. Like, we don't do that, and we don't want you to do that. This is just a tool that we need to get, you know, accurate enough that we can get you the results you want. So for example, say your goal is 1600 calories. If you're within 1500 and you're in the 1600s and 1700s, so you're within 100 below or above, that is great. For your macros, you could be within aim to be within which is ideal, aim to be within 10% of your protein, and if your protein goal, if you get given fat and carbs, then work on that. But if you don't, then sorry, don't be too tedious on it. Mainly it's going to be calories and protein. So tip number 6, do not connect steps or exercise calories to your Myfitnesspal. So that's connecting like Garmin's or Fitbits. If they automatically connect, go into settings and turn them off, because sometimes if you've burnt 500 calories on your Fitbit, it will then add it onto your daily allowance, and if you don't notice, you'd eat another 500 calories. But we do not know, and these are not accurate enough to be able to do that. So we don't work out purely to burn calories. We work out to get stronger, to maintain muscle mass, to obviously, you know, become healthier and get a healthier body, a better cardiovascular system. And our calories and our nutrition is really going to help with fat loss or muscle gain. Okay, so just remember, this is a short-term diet. Sorry, this is not a short-term diet. It is a long-term lifestyle change. You will not track for the rest of your life. We have processes of how we build you off and you become better at intuitive eating. But using this as a tool to start with is great to build up your knowledge of food, general calories, how much general protein am I eating, do I get enough fiber to help my digestive system? And when it's there in front of you, you can think, oh God, yeah, I'm nowhere near my protein goal. Tomorrow, I need to increase it. It's as simple as that. But make sure to check the email, and we're going to add in 3 links that can help you become a pro at Myfitnesspal, and how to get really quick on adding foods, making ingredients, making recipes, and a lot of your frequently asked questions will be answered in these 3 videos, and they're all screen recorded, so you can see exactly how I would use Myfitnesspal with takeaways, with like big meals of lots of ingredients, how to like input meals from like 2-3 days ago and just copy and paste it across, so we can just be quick and get off the app as quick as possible.